welcome to day 25 of the Morning Yoga Challenge, and today's theme is learn. So I thought we'd do something slightly different today, and I will take you through a warrior sequence, and then once we've done one side, I'll tell you the story of where these poses originated from and what they represent. So hopefully this give you a little bit more context of those poses. So we will start in a standing position on our mountain pose, Tadasana. You can either have feet hip distance apart, or you can bring the big toes to touch with a little bit of a gap in the heels. Hands down by the side, palms facing forward, start to really open up through the chest. And take a round of breath here. And then when you're ready, step back with the left foot. You want the foot about 45 degrees, or you can come onto the ball of the foot if you feel any pain or if you notice your hips aren't quite in line. Bring your hands to your hips, just check they're facing forwards. You want your knee stacked over your ankle. Start to really draw the inner thighs together. And on the inhale, reach the arms up, either keeping the hands to the shoulder distance apart, or you can bring the hands together in prayer and then drop the 3 fingers down, keeping the index finger pointing up. And then really kind of push up through the fingers. Maybe drawing the gaze up as you lengthen out the spine. So this is Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. And then we'll move into Warrior 2 by rotating the torso towards the left side of the room and then dropping the arms down so they're shoulder height, keeping that bend in the front knee, making sure it's not coming in at all. If it is, you might want to just readjust your stance, maybe widening the stance slightly. And the gaze should be out over the fingertips. Notice if your shoulders are coming up towards your ears. Maybe rotating the palms to face up. Feel the shoulders draw down the back. And then exhale to draw the palms to the facing back down. So Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And then from here we'll move into Warrior 3. This is a balancing pose. If you've got a chair or anything to hand, you might like to just use that to bring your hands onto. But if you do fall out of it, don't worry, it does not matter at all. And I may even fall out of it this morning. So we'll start to rotate the hips so they're facing forwards again. Bringing the arms up overhead. And then start to bring the weight forward into that front leg. As you come onto the toes of the back leg and lift that leg off the floor. Now, you can keep the arms out behind if that's better for your balance. Maybe keeping the hands on the hips if you like. Trying to keep the hips nice and straight. The toes are flexing in towards the knees, so the toes are pointing down. Or if you wanted to test your balance, if you're feeling quite good with the balance today, you can bring the arms out in front. We take the same grip with the hands, so index fingers pointing up. And then really start to reach forward with the arms. And then when you're ready to come out of it, just placing that back foot back down. And we can come back into Warrior 1. And then stepping forward with the back foot and bring the arms down by the foot side. And arriving back into Tadasana, our mountain pose. So that's the warrior sequence. And now I'll tell you the story of where this comes from. So I mentioned earlier that these warrior poses are based on a Hindu story, and this Hindu story is about Shiva. So Shiva married a lady called Sati, and Sati's dad Danksa wasn't too happy about the marriage. So Daxa threw this really massive party, invited everyone, but didn't invite Sati or Shiva. Sati went anyway, and when she got there, she got turned away and told that, no, she's not invited, sorry. Sati was so upset by this that she killed herself. When Shiva found out, he was so angry, he tore one of his dreadlocks from his hair, threw it down to the earth, and from that dreadlock, a warrior was born, and that's Virabhadra. And that warrior, he was formed to kill Daxa. So the warrior poses are about the warrior on his way to kill Daxa. So we'll move into the other side now, and I'll talk you through what each pose represents as we come into it. So again, starting in our mountain pose, arms down by the side. Excuse me. Big toes to touch, a gap in between the heels if you like, or you can have the feet so they're hip distance apart. And then when you're ready, we'll step back with the right leg. Toes can be 45 degrees or on the ball of the foot. Bending the front knee, checking the hips are in line, and then inhale to reach the arms up, maybe bringing the hands together and pointing through that index finger. So we arrive in Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. And what this pose represents is the warrior emerging out of the ground. So we've just grown out of a dreadlock and we're emerging out of the ground here. From here we rotate the torso so we're facing the right side of the room, dropping the arms down, keeping the bend in the front knee, gaze is forward. So this is Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. And in this pose, we are the warrior he's got his sword out, he's drawn his sword and he's ready to cut Daxa's head off. So that's why this is quite a strong, powerful pose. It represents something quite strong and powerful. From here, we'll move into Warrior 3. So bringing both arms up in front, coming onto the ball of that foot, bringing the weight forward into that front foot. Arms can come out behind if that feels better for the balance, or you can bring the arms out in front with the index finger pointing forward. So Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. This represents the warrior taking Daxa's head and placing it on a stake. You imagine the head, we grab the head and we place it on the stake. And then when you're ready to come out of it, slowly coming back down, coming onto the ball of the foot, and then stepping forward so we're back in our mountain pose. So that's the story of the warrior poses. The story does have a little bit of a happy ending. So Sati comes back to life. She sees what Shiva's done. She tells Shiva he needs to sort it out. So Shiva takes Daxa's head, places it on a goat, as you do, and Daxa comes back to life as a half goat, half man person. And they will live happily ever after. So that's the story of the warrior poses. I hope that you enjoyed it and it gave you a bit of context behind what we're actually doing or representing in those poses. And I hope to see you back for tomorrow's sequence, day 26, and the theme is lengthen. So I hope to see you then. Thanks.